I'll let you know more about Markham. So Markham is the most diverse city in Canada, and it's home to a lot of really big technological companies, including IBM, AMD, and CGI Informatics. Markham in the rankings is actually clustered with Toronto, but as a standalone, they're also a really great ecosystem. They're 12th in Canada and also 306 globally. So hi, Mista, how are you?
Good, thank you, Katrin. Thank you so much for having us today. As Katrin mentioned, my name is Misla Balogun. I am a Senior Business Development Officer with the City of Markham, representing the Department of Economic Growth, Culture, and Entrepreneurship today, and really happy to be here to talk to you about Markham startup ecosystem. So to move right into it, where is Markham, Canada? We are located right above the City of Toronto, highlighted in yellow here. And we're part of the Greater Toronto area. So it's very easy to get to other parts of the GTA, as well as to Pearson International Airport, which is one of Canada's largest airports. What this map on the right is showing is, again, Markham is really close to different major cities in North America, whether that's Canadian cities or American cities. In terms of our demographic profile, Markham is an extremely diverse community. So there are over 70% of our residents are visible minorities. And also, it's also a very highly educated community. So over 70% have some sort of post-secondary education. What this means for a founder is whatever type of skill set you're looking for, there's a good chance you can find it in Markham. And if you don't, we're also really lucky to be within a 1-hour drive of 7 universities and 8 colleges. And in 2024, we're proud to say that York University will open up its Markham campus. They'll welcome 4,200 students, and it'll eventually grow to 10,000 students. What this means for a startup is you have an opportunity to work with a university that's very interested in collaborating with the private sector. So a lot of the programs that they're creating for their students will be directly tied to what employers are looking for, or startups or established companies as well. In addition to that, we're also home to Seneca College, which has been in Markham since 2005. We like to say that we are Canada's second largest tech hub. We have the largest concentration of tech firms per 1,000 residents. So what this slide is looking at is Canadian tech hubs with a population greater than 250,000. And so as you'll see here, Markham has 4.57 tech firms per 1,000 residents. In terms of our tech and innovation ecosystem, as Katrin mentioned earlier, we have some really large companies in Markham. So IBM, General Motors, AMD, Qualcomm, that are really strong in the semiconductor space. In total, we have 1,500 tech companies supporting 35,000 jobs in industries such as life sciences, auto tech, which includes electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles, semiconductors. Markham has the largest concentration of semiconductor companies in Canada. Additionally, professional services, food and beverage, clean tech, and finance and insurance are also some of our strong sectors. What this slide here is showing is the innovation ecosystem. And while there's a lot of logos on it, I think the main takeaway is that there's support for startups. So whether that's funding organizations that allow founders to grow their network, whether that's with other startups or even the established companies like the IBMs, Qualcomms, AMDs that I mentioned earlier. And in addition to that, government support is available. So we have some government logos at the bottom of the screen here. And I think that's a really important advantage. I'd like to talk about one of our leading accelerators, Venture Lab. It's a leading global founder community for hardware technology and enterprise software companies. In the interest of time, I'll just talk about one of the programs they have called the Hardware Catalyst Initiative. This initiative is really geared towards companies in deep tech, hardware, in the hardware space, and Venture Lab opens up its cohort to these companies to come to use a $7 million prototype and testing lab. In addition to that, founders will have the ability to work with seasoned entrepreneurs and business leaders with decades of industry experience. It's an extremely strong advantage for a startup that may not have access to $7 million worth of technology. And we're finding that there's different startups from all over Canada that are coming into this this program, and they don't have to give up a cent of equity in their company. Also, I'd like to talk about two other incubators in Markham, so Y-Space, Markham, and Seneca Helix. The main takeaway here that I'd like to point out is these services are available for different types of companies, so food and beverage, technology ventures, and the other advantage here is, as I mentioned earlier, Markham is an extremely diverse community. So the programs that both of these incubators have really cater to diverse communities. So Y-Space works largely, or works a lot with Black entrepreneurs, for instance. Seneca Helix also works with women and that sort of thing. So there's really space for everyone. And with that said, that is the end of my presentation. Here's my email address, and I'm also on LinkedIn. So I look forward to connecting with everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Mista. Thank you for sharing more about Markham. And if you have any questions, as Mr. said, you can email them and also reach out through their website. And we also have the Markham portal. You can get there by heading to markham.startuplink.com. And Markham also has a case study on the report where you can learn more about this wonderful startup ecosystem. Thank you, Mista, and have a great day ahead.
Thanks, Katrin.